Yeah, what's up? Sorry for the voice, but I felt like recording another one of these. I was doing some stuff, and I was like, you know what, I should make one of these things. And I was really thinking about the fact of I've probably talked about this before, but about not knowing what's ahead and what that can do for you, and like kind of the way that like how big that can be for your life in how you like react to it or whatever. That makes any sense. I know it's crazy. I literally don't have any notes. I don't do anything, so I kind of just talk willy nilly, kind of just yap a little bit. But constantly in my life, I've been thinking about like I've been almost like trying to think, but you can't really think because like like the future, when the future is so unpredictable, so unknown that you can't even like fathom what it could be. It makes it very interesting to try and even think that way. And for me, like I mean, you would think, okay, all this stuff I think in the past, and okay, I do. I'm sure like a lot of you guys, like I think about past events. I think about like memories I had, especially like the cherished ones, stuff like that. Like you think about those memories, and I think about them a decent bit, but I don't think about them as much as I used to, and I don't like cling to them as much. Like it's a very peculiar spot to be in, because since I don't, I mean I think about the past, obviously do all that stuff, and I have no clue what the future is gonna be. So I'm thinking the present. It's so weird. I don't know if any of y'all are in this situation, but I can't even like. It feels like it being like walking a tightrope kind of thing. Like it's like I really truly do not know, and that's what makes it so interesting. Because although in a sense there's certain aspects of my life that I know what's gonna happen. Like I have an idea, or like you can kind of guesstimate what's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna get older. I'm gonna get more have back problems, stuff like that. But like when it comes to like pretty much every aspect of like the big things, there's so much like uncertainty that it's kind of cool to think about, and this stuff could easily be the stuff that makes you super anxious and super nervous and used to. I remember having dreams and having nightmares of stuff happening in the future, and quite literally some of it did happen, which is interesting. But when you have those things and you kind of so focus and so when you let that kind of the future dictate how you feel in the present, it kind of just I don't know how to, it kind of just like makes life, it just waters it down, which kind of sucks. And I spent so long living a watered down life, like going through school and all this stuff, like where I was like just thinking or almost like projecting what was going to happen, or like kind of in a sense like absorbing or feeling what I was scared was going to happen in the future in the present. So I was actively feeling going through this stuff. And you gotta think, a lot of times for me, I was super nervous about like presentations, talking to this thing, or oh maybe this thing, or oh is this gonna go wrong? These things that probably in reality probably went fine and were like 15, 30 minutes, maybe an hour or something like that. These like little events that I keep projecting. And I would think, and I would let it affect me all throughout like childhood for like, I mean you gotta think like hours, days, for things that were like little 15, 30 minute things I would think about, and like it would affect my life. And it kind of just, looking back, obviously everything has for reasons, so you gotta learn, gotta grow through that stuff. But it's like if I only just was just present and just was like, okay, I think it could go in flames, or it could be amazing. Either way, I'm just gonna take it as it comes, and that's what I'm gonna do. If I just did that, I feel like I'd have a lot more peace and a lot more whatever when I was a kid and stuff like that, and probably have been able to be more myself instead of pretending to be someone else because I was so caught up in things that really didn't matter. Because what's nice is when you're present, and I was forced to be present by circumstances, stuff like that, and now I'm like, oh, that's why I should have been like this all the way. But when you're in that present thing, that's when I feel like it's the best way to find yourself and to find like peace and to find like contentment with who you are. Because there's this whole thing like about comparison is a thief of joy, and I think I made a video that's titled Comparison Thief, but it's like comparing yourself, projecting, all that stuff, all this stuff is just kind of noise. If you literally just live your life, just try to better yourself each day, just try to be a good person, just honestly just kind of walk through whatever life has in store, like do the best you can. Like it's like you really can't go wrong. Like the worst stuff could happen to you. Like you could go through hell, but it's truly like in a sense, it's not even that in itself is not a bad thing, because it helps you grow or helps you understand, helps you like do more than you would have. So even a quote unquote bad thing is a way to kind of grow and stuff like that. And by being present and walking in, you kind of can like see it. Like for me, like anytime I've gone through anything that was like, this kind of sucks, looking back, I'm like, okay, that did suck. That was painful. That was really tough. But hey, at least I went through that because now I learned this, or now I'm more like myself, or maybe I got a little more confidence. Maybe I'm okay. I'm not doing that anymore, or not hanging out with those people. Like not doing that and that. It kind of just helps you learn, and you can't really learn or can't really grow that much when things are always easy and when you kind of know. That's why at a certain level, the unknown, the unpredictability of the future and what's happening is so valuable, because if you knew everything that was going to happen, you would be kind of just stagnant. You just kind of be, it would be so tough for you to change that you would just kind of stay the same and you wouldn't be able to grow and do bigger things. And so that's why it's so nice being present, because you're like kind of allowing nature to take its course or whatever. You're kind of just allowing yourself to grow and change as the circumstances do, instead of like being so caught up in things that you just kind of lose sight of all that stuff. And it's not always easy. It's actually very difficult to be present. It's one of the most difficult things in the world, and it took immense loss for me to even really do it. Somewhat. I mean, I still like have anxiety, still struggle with all that stuff, and still have a bunch of nerves. But it is so good to just be aware of. Like, it's just, even if just being just by little steps, being like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna be focused on that, or I'm gonna write right now. I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna do that right now. Even just like sit, or just like kind of just sit, just do nothing. I'm gonna do that and just like kind of just do that stuff. It helps so much, and I feel like it gives you so much like it's like nutrition for the soul when you do that kind of stuff, and you're like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna take the leap of faith. I'm gonna do it, and hey, worst comes to worst, it does. Whatever happens, I'm good. And yeah, it's scary, very scary, but it's one of those things where like after you do it, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. 99 times out of 100, it is never. And the time that it was as bad, the time that was terrible, and all that stuff, it's a way to learn and grow. Like it, and I guess technically anything is a way to learn and grow. But it's like the things that even that are like when the tough stuff happens, the bad stuff happens, or the things that you whatever, even worst case scenario, that stuff allows you to kind of just it allow you to grow in certain areas. Like it may not, in the moment, it may be tough to kind of be like, oh, this really sucks. Why is this happening? Da, da, da. But it's like, it just allows you to kind of be like, oh, you know what? That was actually really helping me. So that's why the unknown, the unpredictability and all that stuff is such a nice thing. It's such a blessing to have. Because if we knew everything, life would be so boring and it would just get kind of dull. Like I feel like it's the mystery and it's the whatever of life that keeps it exciting. So that's why I think it's important to keep consistently trying new things and to keep yourself on your toes, because life gets really boring when you know exactly what's going to happen, and you don't grow and you don't really change when you know what's going to happen, because since you know what's going to happen, you know exactly who you're going to be during whatever happens. There's no unique circumstances that are going to form you or change you in a different way. So that's why hey, even just trying little things, or finding little ways to make life more unpredictable, or do things that, hey, you know what, I got a gut feeling I should do this, or I should do that. I may be a little scared, but hey, I'm going to do it anyways. It's so important, because taking those steps and doing those little things is over time, just, you kind of look back, you're like, oh, dang, I got all the way over here. I never would have thought. I was literally just started just by going to that one place instead of that place, or talking to that person instead of the people I already know. It's kind of just little by little. So taking out there, hey, whatever you're scared of, just run right through it, and you can do it. The unknown is really a blessing to help you grow and become a better person and kind of just live life. I hope this helped any of you guys. Let me know. I'm sure, I don't even know if anyone's here, but have a nice day. Love you, and God bless.